7 Little Johnstons star Trent breaks down in emotional eulogy for late father Poppy. Season 15 of 7 Little Johnstons has shown Amber and Trent Johnston navigating the care of his aging parents. Sadly, Trent's father died in episode 7, and the bereaved son broke down while reading an emotional eulogy for him in an upcoming episode. The February 18 episode of 7 Little Johnstons, titled A Sudden Loss, will follow the family as they say goodbye to Poppy. In an exclusive clip shared with Parade, Trent revealed what he wrote about his late father, Walter Pete Lawrence Johnstone, who died at age 90 on March 10, 2024, according to an online obituary from a local funeral home. Dad was a die-hard Atlanta Braves fan and Georgia Bulldogs fan, Trent read aloud to family members gathered in their dining room. I remember going to some Braves games with him at Fulton County Stadium. He would always park in this older gentleman's driveway and maybe pay him a few dollars. Trent recalled how he and Poppy would then walk through a tunnel and buy a bag of boiled peanuts from the same elderly street vendor. The peanut man would always say, "I was young, and I asked Dad how he always remembered his name. Pete." Trent shared, "Hello, mister. One of the many life lessons Dad taught all of us was that being a little person, people will always remember you. It is up to you on what they remember about you." After pausing for a moment to wipe his eyes and gather his emotions, Trent continued, he also said, "We are little people. When you shake hands with somebody, squeeze it hard, son. Some may judge us on our size. Let them know you're strong." In a confessional with producers, Trent explained, "When your parents pass away, it is sad. But if you have a parent that was strong in their faith, a man like Poppy, it's a blessing to us now because we got somebody else to talk to." 7 Little Johnstons. Amber and Trent cope with his bleak MRI results. There is fear the reality stars are concerned about multiple sclerosis and other diagnoses as Trent is referred to a neurologist. Exclusive clip from the show's latest episode. Trent and Amber Johnston deal with some potentially bleak news in the latest all-new episode of 7 Little Johnstons, sharing there is fear about what his MRI results could mean. 21. Trent and Amber somberly discuss his test results in the car. An exclusive clip from which airs Tuesday, Jan. "I do see head trauma from past," he explains, adding that the injuries weren't his medical team's biggest concerns. "The size of my brain, the diameter, the gap, the spacing between my brain and my skull has reduced at a faster rate than what it should be at 47 years old, Trent explains, as Amber gets visibly upset. "It's the size of, like, an 81-year-old. Does this necessarily set him up for a higher chance of, dementia or Alzheimer's or things like that?" Amber says as the two speak to the camera. "So that's definitely a concern. But, as Trent continues to share, his doctors discussed some dire potential diagnoses for him, explaining that the MRI showed possible early stages or pre-existing stages of multiple sclerosis, MS. That's life-altering," Amber says. The Mayo Clinic Mississippi is a disease in which the immune system attacks the protective sheath, myelin, that covers nerve fibers. This creates communication problems between your brain and your body. The result, Amber explains, is that MS causes your brain to not function with the rest of your body. It can cause vision issues, lot of body pains. So, yeah, there is fear. When Trent tells Amber that they're being referred to a neurologist, she admits, "I definitely don't think this is what we were expecting." Trent agrees, saying, "It doesn't make me feel good to sit here and say, I know you've been a hard worker and you've done a lot in your 47 years, but you got to slow down. Your brain's the size of an 80-year-old. Academically, I'm not that gifted anyway," he says, "so if this is my next challenge right now, besides getting back to work, Let me button up and get this figured out. Trent then turns the tropic to daughter Liz's 14-month-old daughter, Layden, whom she welcomed with boyfriend Bryce Bolden in November 2023. "I've got a new grandbaby I want to enjoy. I don't want to be a burden," Trent says.